Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm glad to see that you're all enjoying the revamped intro. I've got to say full credit goes to the maestro himself, Charlie. Charlie, good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you. How's it going?
Yeah, love the edit we had on the intro, mate. Absolute banging job. And everyone in the live chat seems to be loving it as well. We've got returning again for the last couple of weeks. We've got McBride Ace. Good to see you, my man. Getting that pint in order.
I love that intro. It's so good, honestly. Brilliant. Love
and
it.
we've went levels up from last week again. Loving it, Charlie boy. And then we've got Harry Trades, the man, the myth, the legend. Good to see you, Harry boy.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, that fucking intro is funny as hell. Class.
Yeah. It's funny as well because I don't know if you know this, Harry, from the first time we came on, but I had the tweet dug out to use as like in the intro or something. But I got it by putting on Twitter, like, oh, who's got it? And then someone linked it to me. And I see by the time me and Charlie went to pull it to go and use it, the guy deleted the tweet.
Yeah, it's weird. That is weird behavior, isn't it?
To go find a screenshot from someone's bookmarks or whatever, but we got there in the end. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. I can hear someone's like room a little bit, just as a wee heads up. Someone's maybe on a mic difference or something.
Yeah, it might be me again. I'll try to fix it.
Yeah, deja vu, Charlie boy, maybe. But yeah, we're here for a wee bit of GF Friday nights, and just right before we get stuck into it, I did win a card this week, guys. I wasn't going to open it on the stream. But Sorare just tweeted out like new and revamped, prize distribution, new arena, card redemption, whatever the word is. It's totally escaped me. I ended up finishing 9th in the end, sadly, but it's a tier 2 we're picking up, and that's the only card I've got. So I just wanted to have a wee look at it with you guys. And McBride picked up cash. Now there was a thing apparently that comes up. Charlie was saying that when he opened it, when you get the promotion relegation thing, it came right up. I went to set some rivals teams when it came up, but it was before they tweeted, so I just closed it. So maybe it's not actually going to be different for me. Let's see if I click into something again. If we maybe see it, nah. Just see the pool if we click on that, I think. Which, by the way, isn't too bad. Alistair Johnson in season would do me quite nicely. Jules Koundé would be fun. One or two others could be all right, but maybe the new opening isn't actually going to be here then. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I think it might be that new tunnel thing. But we get a German, a midfielder.
Yeah, mate.
Plays for Bayern. Gross. Is that good or bad? Tier 2 is all right, yeah. But is he bombed out now? He's very free.
I think he's playing, but I don't know if he's doing much.
Fair.
Definitely playing, though.
Claim the rest of the boxes. And yeah, I think I'll leave all the boxes for another day, maybe next Friday or something. So we're now up to 18 boxes in the store, in the factory, which is cool. And will we open this gross for a bit of banter? See if we get a special edition. I've not opened the Astley yet. I don't know why I've not opened it yet. But anyway, let's see. Do we get a cool gross? We animated background maybe? Oh, we're up in the North Pole. The Northern Lights are out. It's Christmas time. You can just feel it in the air. And do we get a Christmas gross? Standard. I was going to ask is if there's a tell on the opening sequence if we get animated or whatever. That's quite cool. Happily add that into the collection. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. I think I must have missed it. Sorry, sorry, but the little tunnel thing, I didn't know that's what it was. And somebody in the live chat said their box was auto-claimed as well. Yeah, Rico man. Mine didn't. So yeah, I maybe missed the new stuff. It'll be interesting to see if anyone's got any B screen records or whatever on it. But yeah, I think Neon Christmas is probably the kind of the thing top of the agenda, seeing the Pascal Gross coming out there. A new card design that isn't special for like collections and all the rest of it unless it's animated. The pack opening thing, which is also a big hit with early access, is back in full effect. And the calendar, the advent calendar that we've had. With this being like the first week of it, we're on the 6th of December at the point of recording. How have you guys found the advent calendar, Neon Christmas, all this good stuff?
Yeah, fun enough. I mean, I haven't really got involved too much with it per se. I have bought Neon cards, but not specifically on like the day where you get 20% for the chal and champ and whatever. But I've been way luckier this time around with the specials, mind. Like remember last time I couldn't pull one for toffee. I've pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 10% chance of opening one. I've probably bought maybe 10, 12. So my hit rate's like rather high, but not that it means too much. But the only thing is annoying, like if you get a rookie, like I've got a rookie special and it doesn't get the rookie bonus, alongside the the special. You know what I'm saying? So it's still 50 collection points rather than 70. So yeah, that part's a little bit annoying, but yeah, it's been fun enough. This is a different angle, and it's definitely worked in the market. Like people saying it doesn't work, it worked if you look on the Sorare data charts and stuff. So yeah, it's been successful, I think.
I thought it was really good around the rewards, Quinny. Like you obviously you pulled one that I wasn't really expecting that, so that was a nice positive. I think like it's a positive and a negative. Like if Sorare made a bit more of that, then maybe it would have built a bit more hype, if you know what I mean. Like yeah, we're doing this and we're selling them, but by the way, these are in the rewards as well. But yeah, I was buzzing to get like I done the craft and I got Oblak, and it came out as a special as well, which was amazing. So like that was
Quality.
really good. And like people have been offering for it and everything as well. Like I've not even listed it, and I've had like 3 or 4 offers for it because it's special edition. So I think it's been a big positive actually. Like, you know, obviously at this point things are going to sort of start tapering off a bit, you know, because like you've only got about half of the season to go or whatever, and then you're going to be looking forward to, you know, maybe other leagues coming back again. So they've got to do something. So yeah, it's pretty good. And the day they just gave out some boxes and stuff was good as well, because we were all like, first, it's another card promo. It's another card promo. And it's like, yeah, we're just going to give away something for free. So that was nice. There was some generosity in amongst it and stuff. So
Agreed.
Charlie sitting in the next intro.
Oh,
sequence.
sorry. Is my mic okay?
Yeah, grand.
Is it? Yeah. All right. Sorry, I wasn't talking because I wasn't sure. What were you talking about, the cards?
Yeah, just first thoughts on like Advent calendar, Neon Christmas. How you think it's went this week? Did you get any?
I think as well. I've not bought any. I have got some. But yeah, I think it's went well. I don't see any problems with it. I think a few people weren't happy with the first few days when they thought it was just going to be a market event every day for 24 days. But yeah, it seems to. I think it'll be kind of spread out where maybe we get a free box every 5 days or something like that. So yeah, I don't mind it.
It was very reminiscent on, and I don't know how many of you guys would have had this. Maybe somebody in the chat will as well. But I remember when I used to play Ultimate Team, I used to have the companion app on the phone, and it was like every day if you logged in, you got like a bronze pack, and it was also crap and all that, but just for like fodder. Or some days it would be like a silver pack, and if it was Black Friday, it would be other stuff. It was just like login bonus. And I never really got why they cared you were logging into the app and all that, because it's FIFA. It's a bit different, isn't it? But it's good to see. Like as soon as they did that, I was like, oh, of course they could just do something like that, like log in and click, you know. And it was 10,000. The first 10,000 get guaranteed a card, and then I think everyone thereafter. Was it they mainly got tickets, or was it guaranteed tickets?
I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, just tickets. I woke up too late, so by the time I woke up, they'd all been snatched.
Yeah, I think they gave like an hour one. I think it was at like 9 o'clock UK time. They said like be on for 10 sort of thing. So yeah, obviously doesn't help when you're across the pond and you're asleep.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? But I've seen some people pull some nice cards though.
Yeah. I got a decent one. I can't remember what it was, but it was for a giveaway. I can't remember who it was now.
I watched that. Who did you pull? It was like a German guy, wasn't it? Like, or he used to play in Germany or something.
Oh yeah.
I remember I was looking for a collection. I saw him in.
Tickets.
I think it was a Dortmund collection, like an old one.
Tickets. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was something like that.
Nep and Laird, wasn't it?
Yeah, he must.
And he was like the cheapest guy in it. That's what I got that wee.
Yeah, it must have been that. Yeah, it must have been that.
Yeah, you're looking at a guy's collection. It was like 10 points off of 500, and he's just sitting there with it. He's got a Haaland and Bellingham and all that sitting on 3% rather than 4. That right enough. That was him.
It was that Dortmund collection where they had Jude and Haaland. It was that, yeah.
Right enough. I think the Neon Christmas thing, like it was firmly like kind of burned into everyone at that point on that day that it's that time every day is what they announce what's going down, you know. And I don't know if there's been that many things where you've had to be like fastest finger first, maybe getting the first bid on auto bid for like auctions or something like that, maybe depending on what the criteria is. But I think since then, definitely everyone will be checking tweet notifications at that time going for the next like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it is. So I think they've, so far so good. I think for the execution of it, I really like the way they've kind of planned it out. And I think with obviously the special that's coming up on like the 17th of January or whatever, it's not just like, it does feel right now that it is just like Christmas, but the kind of aftermath of this will kind of wane on for another couple of weeks as people then try and scramble some teams together, fill some gaps, and everything. So I actually think it's went pretty well for them so far. And like you were saying, Harry, the market doesn't lie in that regard. People are going out and picking them up. And for me, like I mentioned this not too long ago, I've got more cards than ever. I picked up another couple this week. And when they're affordable, like, what I mean? Like, why not? It's a game. At the end of the day, you want to have cool cards. You want to have the guys you like, and if like for me, for the first day of the promo, or was it the Black Friday promo or something, I got that Kaki and Faye just to get some Wonder Kids in. They don't do anything for me, but it's like, oh, I've got an excuse to spend a couple of quid on a couple of Wonder Kids, that otherwise are quite hard to, like, when do you find a reason to buy some of these guys sometimes? Because it's like, oh, I should buy that centre back to get that team off the ground, or I need to get that backup keeper to handcuff it or whatever. So yeah, I think so far so good. And like McBride says, I think they need to ratio it quite well for when they just do a wee, oh, Merry Christmas, everyone, kind of bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like Rico Man says, like, sorry, but he's got a list of cards waiting, and like I've kind of got the same, where like I've got a watch list on SD where like there's a group of like yeah, like say like if Serie A gets like a 20% off, like I'll be ready to pounce, sort of thing. Yeah.
I thought the other good thing was you could still use your your like existing auction credits and stuff. So like when they done the Black Friday deal, it was like you put in sort of net deposit of 50 or 60 quid minimum, and then you would get a bonus or whatever based on that in terms of more credits. But I had some credits to use, so then you had to spend it right. So you had to spend at least half of that. But like I could use some credits to buy some guys and stuff. So I think we were talking about that before. Quite like about like a Vinicius Junior or whatever, like limited just for the under 23s, purely for fun. Like, because obviously it's not the best idea to buy a sort of 5% like in-season limited card at the moment, but I wasn't really too bothered about it. So it definitely done the job, because like it kind of encourages you to go and just sort of buy something. I was kind of like had a negative thought about this, but I don't know what you guys think, but like I was quite interested that they run that competition. It's like a limited one in January, and it's like you need 5 neon cards. So that was, and for me, a wee bit scary as well. Just think, well, I've been like spending money in my in-season collection since July, and if there's a competition, I want to be in it. And then on the other side, I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought maybe there's an element of it that's quite clever as well, because I've just said there that buying a 5% limited card just now is not the best idea. So it kind of opens it up again to say, well, okay, it's not going to be every competition, but here's a good competition, bring some demand to the cards. So at least it shows they're thinking about that stuff. What do you guys think of that?
I'm surprised they didn't do it. Well, am I surprised they didn't do it in rare? Or like at least do it like you need 3 neon rares or whatever it is, not 5 type of thing, Surprised they didn't extend it further a little bit, because if you're gonna make neon rares and neon supers, like I don't know, it just that's the only part for me is it's just a bit, have they even bought, like, why aren't they thinking, or maybe they have thought about it, but why aren't they executing on things like that? Maybe it's not cost effective, whatever. There's obviously reasons, maybe, but that's probably the only drawback. But I think it's a fun thing to do it. Like Quinny says, like it kind of extends the utility beyond just Christmas, and it's never mind, I know there's collection bonuses and whatever, they look cool. But yeah, that like little one-off tournament, I think, yeah, and it's a good selling point as well. Like I think Laird spoke about it as well. Like a day or two before that is when, if you want to get out of some of those neon cards, if you want to flip and whatever, that'd be a wicked selling opportunity, because that is a big tournament. And yeah, the only downside for me is, they haven't done it at the highest scarcities, but that's just a biased perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've like it's slightly disappointing they haven't done it with rare, but
yeah,
I do actually quite like the fact that you need 5 in the neon ones. I've kind of been asking for a while of like a tournament where it's like quite exclusive in the fact that like something like the league specific ones, you're not having to battle off everyone. You've kind of got like a limited like participants. It's quite like hardcore sort of thing. But like Andreas says in the chat, like I don't think they have the rest to sell. Like I was looking at cards the other day and I saw a Talby for Club Brugge and he has 81 new season mints.
Wow. That's
so
mad.
like a lot of the cards, like you don't see any auctions now. You see like some of them don't even have instant buys up. Like they might just not have the cards to sell at instant buy at rare. Sorry.
My first kind of thought on the limited only and like the 5 neon thing is I thought it was more of a marketing idea than anything, because like I know from like making some of the shorts and stuff like that, and Harry and obviously some of you guys in the chat might understand this a little bit as well, but like I think one of the things with Sorare teams and stuff like that, even in season, because you can have one classic for limited or whatever, the series they don't all look the same. There's always a question on the picture, like why does that one look different, or why is that Jude Bellingham wearing a Dortmund shirt and the rest of them are real, you know, or could be a number of things. Whereas with the 5 neon one, like when everyone's entering that, they're all going to look the exact same, you know. And I think there's been a, you know, it's quite easy to get the ones that are animated as well, you know. So I think they're crossing their fingers. There's a lot of 5 entries that are animated, and then it's just filling the timeline with eye candy. I think that's their kind of, you know, all the cards look the same. They're all kind of uniform to an extent, and as I say, if they're animated, it just makes, because the animated ones will compare off against the standard ones, even if it was a mix. Like you kind of get what they see, with the, you know, what they're going for and what it looks like. And I also thought if they were to do it with rare and super rare, like let's say availability of cards to one side, again they're going to want to do it with 5. So then, how many people would enter it, and then how much money would they need to put into it, versus just putting all the prize pool that they have for it into limited. And if anyone wants to go for it, like buying limited cards, if you're a rare player or a super rare player, isn't beyond your means necessarily. It's just whether you're going to go the effort to do it. So I thought it was more a kind of, again, a concentration on prize pool, and then like marketing almost, you know, just wait for all these cool looking teams on the mid January, you know, when everyone's coming out of the January blues, just seeing all these cool cards of the best players going around and smashing. Somebody's won X couple of grand on this team, and oh, I can't believe it, and that kind of jazz. Could be totally wrong, but that was just my kind of impressions.
Is it specialist? Is it a specialist format? I thought that when I seen it, I thought the only downside with that is like you go to buy just now, and you know you need some under 45s, you need some under 50s, but like it's December, so like how do you plan for those positions? So maybe actually they're banking on that. Maybe they're thinking that people just buy their smashers, like so you get your, like say PSV at home at weekends, right, and buying Buscagli, but then you'll have to wait and you'll have to buy somebody in the last game week because you won't know the last 15 average until you get to the game week before, and then maybe they'll go, all right, let's just call up all the under 50s or under 40s and we'll bash a few of them out, like to sell them into demand. So like it's kind of interesting, like as an overall thing. It's like in the back of my head I was thinking like it's just another kind of segregation of cards or whatever, but we're obviously becoming more used to that in season and everything now, in different competitions and different rules and everything. So it's pretty interesting to see how that will all shake out. But yeah, I don't think it's not a negative, because they're putting money into that and they're trying to like create a good competition for when the big leagues come back. You know, maybe there's some winter breaks or whatever in Germany and things, but the main negative was that Celtic don't play that weekend, so I'm not playing it.
That's enough weekends for us.
Oh, I'm fucked. It's like no Celtic game, not playing. So I'll not be in. So there we go. You guys can fill your boots.
The issue is though with the specialists, like things so much can change between now and then. So like it's a bit of a killer buying now, and he's just kind of asking to be sort of set up for disaster really, unless you buy a magnitude of cards. But yeah, outside of that, I do like it.
Yeah, the fact that it's specialist, you can't really just buy 5. You've kind of got to gauge 3 of them maybe who you really want, and then buy 3, and there are 3 or 4 pieces around it maybe, I'd say.
Because you want XP, right? So the problem just now is you buy a card and guys have got cards that are sitting on like 15, 16, 17% in season with collection bonuses. So like if you want to play that competition in January, you probably want to buy a card just now, get them into training or do some level ups or whatever, like whatever edge you can get. But like you can't pick the under 45 just now, or maybe you could. I've got a few in my gallery at the moment that are just wasting around. Just can't be sold. But you don't know because they could just smash a few game weeks out and then all of a sudden they're the over 50 or whatever. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe like actually that will generate some sales or whatever in the last week or two. And Sorare will look at that and says who's selling well. We'll throw a few more of them out and it'll generate a bit of money or whatever. So because at the end of the day we don't always like that, but that's what they've got to do, right? So
Yeah, for sure. Do we know if they'll still be selling Christmas cards into the new year? See, I'm under the impression that once we get to Christmas, once the advent calendar's finished, that's it kind of over. But we do love a pack opening. We do love a card reveal. So do they keep that running for a little bit? I don't know. I don't think we know is the answer.
Yeah, I think it's still Christmas. I don't know if I read that or I heard it from maybe watching your video, but I can't remember. But I think with Instant Buy, like the early access cards, I think they will just sit there if they're not bought.
True.
So you might still have an opportunity to get it after Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah,
good shout. But yeah, by around that time, you'd like to think most of the supply, most cards, rare wise and above, are going to be finished.
Yeah.
For them, from a selling perspective.
Yeah.
Not limited, but yeah, interesting times next couple of months, I think. As far as like how prices seem to just, how the market levels out, how it all pans out. Sorry, with Sorare not being able to sell cards, and we're the only ones that are able to put cards on the market. Obviously not on the primary, but I wonder how that all looks.
Yeah, there's maybe a trading opportunity there. Definitely. If people are going to be desperate for, like, say, the best under, 45 or 40, whatever it is.
Right.
If you can get a few of them stocked up, and the other ones maybe could make some money.
The hard thing with that is, like Harry says, it's just a wee bit of the form and stuff like that. But I think we're all kind of eagerly awaiting for this moment where it does feel like there's no more rares to be sold. It is like rewards and secondary market is the only show in town. Because, like Harry was saying, somebody's marked at 80 already. Like, there'll be a fair few players that run out. I know we've just had Nordisland and Ren on who will be at low digits now, but I don't expect there's going to be many more new European licenses between now and end of season. So, especially for those like champ specific Prem, Bundy, it'll be interesting to see how it kind of pans out.
I guess as soon as like Europe starts sort of drying up, you've kind of got then like the MLS and the other sort of summary leagues kind of coming through supply wise. So I don't know whether it's a perfect sort of changeover, if that makes sense, but I think it'll be there or thereabouts as far as like them being able to sell more cards in their like cycle of European teams and then MLS teams, European teams, go that way.
Yeah, because that may be part of their thinking that they don't want European auctions interfering with J League Day One auctions, and maybe they want the marketplace clear for that. So yeah, I never really thought about that.
Yeah, good point.
So I just went to go and check like my Celtic collection here just to see someday like.
Yeah, I've just been doing that. I've seen the Goalkeeper was at 75 new season.
Jeez.
Gordon was at 75 as well. It appears like anyone good's at like 75-ish.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to think they're keeping like the ones that are outstanding for the most part must be the rewards. Yeah, because they'll be probably planning on getting one a week or something like that as an average, perhaps. Like
if you look at someone's graph on SD, like there's just no blue ones. There's no auctions. All of them are instant buy, and the instant buys are even like a week between each other.
I mean, for Sorare, it makes more sense for them to sell instant buys, if you know what I mean, because they're just more expensive.
We've seen because of the Neon Brummer, people are paying stupid prices. Like on the offers they gave out a few days ago on like Champ, like people are paying like 10-20% over like what they should be.
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry, Charlie, you finish.
I was going to say, like last week, people just would have went in the secondary market, but now people are like putting their credits on or getting their 20% chance of another card and just paying it.
You just made me think then, like, I'd like to know the numbers. I mean, I'm sure Sorare could sort of do it, but how much have they made from the neons? Like, give me every sale of every neon card. I'd just be interested to know, especially from a limited perspective, because obviously they're putting on that tournament 50k. I'd just like to know, what that looks like. Have they sold £100,000 worth of cards and they're giving away 50? I know it's not an exact science, but yeah, I'd be really interested to know. Because that deposit bonus, do we know if it finished? Like I used it, I put 50 quid on, and I was like 600, or left, if you know what I mean, like 3,000. It started on, obviously it dwindled down. I was around 600. I can't. Anyone in the chat, if you were lower,
I would have
be
guessed
interested.
it finished. It's been a week, hasn't it?
Right. No, it was not so much it finished. It's more like it just ran out.
No, yeah, sorry. I'm saying I'd be surprised if it.
You reckon they
ran
did
out,
it all? Because that's
Yeah,
150.
so.
That's 150 grand there, minimum.
Mm.
If 3,000 people deposited $50 or more pounds.
Decent. And then there's all the auctions and instant buys thereafter.
Right, and then market credits, and so it'd be interesting to I don't know.
But just looking at graphs like this past week or so, like I've not really seen a graph of anyone that's went down.
Right.
Like all I've seen is like it's just like a bit at the end where it's just like slightly curved up of nearly every player. Just like this instant buys, mainly instant buys to be fair, but
yeah.
Like it's not how much they've sold compared to the 50k they're giving out. It's the like how much it's increased compared to what they would have normally sold for.
Right. Yeah. You've got to take off the top.
Yeah.
But that's like quite not hard to do. But I mean,
yeah, I know, yeah. But,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's went well personally. Like it's only been 6 days, but
because there's no guarantee they would have. So obviously they would have sold those cards, but you get what I'm saying. Like there's no guarantee they would have sold those cards had they not been neons, or they wouldn't have sold all the instant buys and whatever. So at the rate they were, so yeah, it's definitely an interesting added value proposition from their part.
I guess we'll see. By like, I can see them doing this type of like promo sort of thing, maybe 4 times a year, or something sort of thing. Like we'll know if it's worked by whether we see another one in the next couple of months.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah. I like it as like a general concept, like even if you kind of marry it back into like I know me and Harry spoke about this kind of stuff before, like just other kind of card game equivalents or whatever, like tournament specific kind of cards or special edition ones that come out for participating in tournaments or something like that. It's quite a relatively standard thing in like competitive card games or whatever the term for it would be. And like it's nice to win special editions, but I suppose like as the kind of years tick on or the seasons tick by, if there's like 4 or 5 of these events a season, give or take, and there's a few, how many different variations of card design do we then kind of have maybe throughout the season? And then there's some stuff attached to that. It's like, oh yeah, these are the guys I put together for the Neon Christmas, and these are the guys I put together for the St. Patrick's Day Jamboree or end of season Cup Champions Weekend, whatever, blah 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 thing. And because like I've got Champion Edition cards, we see rookie cards, but and I know I'm sure you said this somewhere, Harry, this week, but like generally we want like man of the match stuff or player of the month stuff or whatever. But even this kind of thing like is pretty much the best second type of a special edition card you could probably get, is something that's geared towards the game or game activity. Yeah,
it's not far off. I think the only thing missing from this and what you get with like let's say a team of the week like on FIFA is like, I remember when Bale scored that goal against Southampton or whatever, like, and you can kind of like visualize that in your head type of thing. Whereas like neon, you just associate Christmas with it, which is nice and whatever if you celebrate Christmas, but it's just not like the same effect. Although like visually it's an effect, I think like subliminally in your head maybe it's like there's more added value if it was a team of the week or something, for me anyway, because I could associate that with a game, a performance, and so on.
It seems like I remember the honeycomb cards. Like it seems like there was loads and loads of different variants. We had like Sunrise, the Liquid Dream ones, the ticket ones,
Champion,
the Champion, and then like the years. There's like 3 years after that. Like, it was just nothing, more or less nothing. Yeah.
I love the Champion ones. You'll see behind me up there. Yeah. You see, I'll go this way. There's a couple on that. Like what you were saying is quite interesting. Like I like that because that reminds me of winning the league that season, and then they become collectibles, and like I think people like misunderstand collectibles as well, because collectibles for people are things that you just keep. So like, okay, I've got a Joe Hart and he's in my Halo of Fame, and he's only maybe worth like 20 quid or 30 quid now because he's retired. Like nobody really wants it. There's no utility. But I'm not selling it. That's a collectible for me. That's what a collectible is. Collectibles are not about trading something for 1,000 quid or whatever. So like the champion ones were really good, and yeah, it's becoming a wee bit FIFA, but like, you know, some ideas like that I think are actually pretty interesting, because people do like stuff like that. People do like to hold on to stuff like that, and it's not all about just I'm going to sell that guy on. Oh, I bought that guy for 20 quid and now he's only worth a fiver. Nobody's arsed about that. Like they're just happy they paid 20 quid for it and they like it and they're going to keep it in their collection. That one was probably about an F or something when it was sold, but anyway, that's like, like whatever, you know, like adding value into it, it's adding value to the cards. So
2.2.
It was close.
But I think these sort of special editions, like the Sunrise, I think they've aged really well. Like people like them. I'd pay more for one personally.
Yeah.
There's no negative to not do more of them personally.
Of course, the player editions. These ones are quite cool with the kind of liquid dream background, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, those are like probably the best card I've seen. You know, I couldn't. If someone told me like name all the card design, like that wouldn't have been in my head at all.
Quite a hidden one, eh?
Yeah.
I think these are 2D cards. These might have came out when everything else was going 3D, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how it timed out.
No,
this
that
guy's
was the year
signature's
before,
fun.
I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's a fun signature.
I remember I had a signature. It was a goal. I think it was it Alex Khan? No, it was a different keeper from the MLS, and I ended up trading it for an actual like player years ago. But like I remember when I got like sniped the signature off the market, I was like, oh my god, I have like a professional footballer's, you know, signature card. Like even though he was fucking rubbish, like it was still a good feeling.
They were nice, the Golden Boy. Yeah.
The signature cards are cool. Doesn't matter who they are. Having one's cool.
Game week 200. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
I'm surprised they didn't bring that back. Like
for like just what did we have? 500?
We've had 500,
500
and
and then one.
Yeah,
like all you have to do is just do the rewards for that week. Just change the design of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get why they didn't bring it back. Seems like a really easy thing to do, and they've just like missed on it.
I would quite like that. See if you had like a kind of like we're going to go back to roots. Like I know you don't want to like really sort of bugger things up and do the 2018, 2019 design or whatever, but see if you had a couple of those as like special editions. I love the design of the initial cards. So like if you get more fanciful and neon lights and all this type of stuff, for me the retro stuff becomes like more important. So like, I seen the thing the other day, was like, is it like an AC Milan shirt? And it was like they were celebrating their roots, and it's just like a classic retro strip. So
that's cool.
I'd like to see some retro stuff now, like just actually, I know it might be hard based on licensing or whatever, but like just get the guy with Celtic and say like, you know, Quinny, see that Celtic special edition kit, let's get the players in that. You know that the Lisbon Lions celebration one with the plain green white hoops or whatever, just like they've never worn it. Like get them pictured in that, like everybody would like go mad. Well, Celtic fans would go mad for that, but like if you could do some designs that kind of go back to that era from the start, like that would be quite cool, because I think a lot of the OG guys would appreciate that. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's definitely, as time goes on, doing throwback stuff becomes easier, because you've got something to throw back to. Whereas, like, I know, was it you, Harry? Someone just got an OG Vanaken recently. Was it you?
Yeah.
You as well.
Laird had one. Yeah, I bought the same one as Laird, the 1819.
I think that season's always. I think everyone's seen, no matter when you played this game, like, oh, season one's going to have a wee bit of that, and it already kind of did for a lot of people because they looked old AF very quickly. But now the longer things go on, like the Honeycomb one has a wee bit of throwback vibe to it, you know, and maybe even the first 3D ones after a while, there might be a wee harpening back to it. As I look at just this screen here, like look at this. It's a nice wee kind of catalogue of red, blue, and black there, isn't it? With Jonas Losso. Like, there may be a wee time where there's a wee, remember those cards? Remember the first 3D ones? You know?
In my day.
Hang on a minute, Gunny. Hang on a minute.
There we go. Does it work? Does it look 3D? Does it work?
Aye, it does. Aye, it's magic. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I wish people could see this.
Yeah, FIFA did retro kits as well. I mean, I say, McBride, by the way, I know you said, was it your mic here? Your mic has kind of been choppy a wee bit tonight. So I don't know if there's maybe just a wee wire connection just to double check. Yeah, I've seen when you were talking for periods there. I don't know if it was just me, maybe.
Mine's fine, I think.
Oh, really? Maybe it was just me. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah,
then.
it must just be the internet or something. Yes.
That's cool then. If it's just for me, then ignore it.
Also,
It might just be a connection thing.
So you guys are professionals. You've got mics and stuff. I've just got like a glass of Marjorie. So
Yeah, just speak of the Marjorie.
The magic Marjorie.
Magic Marjorie, yeah.
Indeed. Who was it was playing tonight? It wasn't Madrid, was it? It was PSG.
Yeah, they've
Well, it wasn't.
went full strength.
Right, talk me through this fucking Savinov stuff.
Yeah. I haven't checked as well.
Can't, man. Honestly, like, it's just.
I can't.
Do you know the whole background to like how I won the Savinov and stuff? Yeah. So
that was the demise for champion Super Ref, wasn't it?
Aye. And the thing the other day was like I was winning the flying goalie, so back to the weekend and it wasn't on Sorare data right because it didn't pull in because it was special comp. So I woke up like Monday morning and I was in the site and I was like, I would go in. So I'm sitting first in the flying goalie. It's like that's really weird because I've been looking at Sorare data the whole weekend. So I'm first in the flying goalie, so I was in 519 and I got opted. So I ended up in 505 points from 519 and I had a 1 and first got a Haaland Super. So anyways,
This one that.
Tuesday night, and I was like, I'm opening the rewards, and I'm like, right, it's a big pool. And I seen he was in there, but I was thinking there's like 50 guys in there. I'm not going to get him again. And it just trolled me, just chucked it a neon Safinov, and then Donnarumma's back in. So I don't know, like, yeah, somebody will maybe buy him at some point, you know. I wouldn't want to wish any ill on Donnarumma, but if he gets injured, I wouldn't be that disappointed. But it's a weird scenario. There was even talk of tennis playing or whatever. It's like, just pick a goalkeeper. Like, honestly, just pick one and just play them. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's just weird. But
I think that something's got to give between now and next season, whether it be like the manager, Donnarumma, or, you know what I mean? It seems they like Safinov at the club.
Yeah.
So I think, something's got to give. I think long term, hopefully he finds a number one spot.
They paid 20 million for him, right?
Yeah.
So it was a wee bit of a weird transfer in the first place. So you thought if you're happy with Donnarumma, then you've got tennis and he's Spanish under 21 goalkeeper, and you've got a backup there. So it's like, why have you done it? Or maybe Donnarumma moves on and there's talk of Chevalier, which is mainly Genesis just pumping him because he just wants him at PSG because he's French and everything. So that's the main talk of it. But it's an interesting one. But like, it's just the worst scenario for a goalkeeper. Like, when you get the in and the out. Like, if you just pick one, that's okay. Yeah. But that's why he's in like tier 2 pools and things. People are paying £300-400 for the Super Rare. Yeah. And actually it'd be worth much more than that if he was number one, but in effect he's not really a number one, so it's just a unusual edge case as it's referred to.
For once, you would give them the benefit of the doubt and agree that it is kind of an edge case.
Aye. Yeah, it's also fucking unlucky to just
it's shit.
The tier 2 pools, like, just
twice.
Twice is that's like, super rare. Twice is horrendous. Like, that's
no. Yeah. Actually, it was like funnily enough, like, we're thinking back now, we're talking about like he was the first ever under 23 goalkeeper I bought in Rare and Super Rare. He was it's about 160 quid. I remember it so well because I was absolutely desperate to buy him. It was about 160 quid. I remember after like 2 months after buying him, he was about 1,500 quid because he was unbelievable. He was like, his AA was amazing. It was like the best under 23 goalkeeper. The platform, he was so good. So maybe I should just keep him and just shut my mouth. But that doesn't often happen. So I should just shut up.
Wee bit of Harry trades in the Dean Housens there, isn't it? Just got to keep them and wait for it to come in.
That was fucking brutal.
Chill guy.
The chillest guy in Bournemouth last night, wasn't he? Bet you it was freezing in there, man.
It was indeed. I was just a way to find that. Yeah, where is it? There it's there. I couldn't help but tag you in it, Harry, just in case don't think anyone stalks us on Twitter, but who is it? It was Eurofoot put this out. Dean Housen. He's just a chill guy. He's just a chill guy. He's just a chill guy. Like Harry trades in there.
By the way, Saibari's got 4 decisives tonight for PSV.
Wow.
And I didn't captain him.
Where did you put him, Bob?
Played him in D2 in season. Like, yeah, I've got 3 D2, so he was, in there, but yeah, he wasn't on definitely to play. So I was a bit
dicey.
Remember we asked him on the deadline show. And I kept him in, but yeah.
I was quite surprised to see Ledesma got a start. I picked him up because he was like £3 again. And I thought, I'll just wait for him to get back in that PSV defence. It'll happen at some point. And I see he was on a 48 earlier on. Not that that's that impressive, but caught my eye all the same.
Yeah. I kind of find it a wee bit more difficult to be patient these days. Like, and it's not like, obviously that's a game and the way we are, and obviously I put into the end season, but I used to find like if I got a goalkeeper or whatever, like me, Quinny, but like, look, this guy could appear in 3 years' time and I'm not arsed, Whereas now I think you kind of feel as if like if he appears in 3 years' time, then there might not be a competition for him to play in or like whatever, like so it's all kind of a lot of the best rewards are focused on the in-season stuff. But to bring it around me, the anti-stacks thing that they've run for this weekend, I thought that was awesome. Like I really enjoyed just sitting, like picking lineups for that and actually prioritizing a competition that was actually a classic competition and just going, right, who's the best guy I can pick for that position, or who's the best guy I can pick for that position that's not my Celtic stack, or I wanted to pick 2 Celtic players, like, no, fuck, you can only pick one. And it's like, but it was like really quite interesting to just sit and just pick that type of competition and make it a priority, because a lot of times just now when you pick a classic competition or whatever, it's like you picked like 15, 16, 17 different competitions first, or like my good classic guys are maybe getting into the last slot in season. Like Barco, I don't play him in classic. He's like so good. It's like he's getting in the 1 slot in seasons. So that's where the cash was. So I'm looking forward to that competition this weekend. I think it was really well done.
They did stress it was meant to be a one-off, right? But looking at the prize pool, does it need to be a one-off? Is it that much of a stretch for them, do you think? They did this maybe, I don't know about every weekend, but maybe once a month?
I think the prize pool is really deep for the entrance, is what I will say.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's like really deep compared to the entrance.
I don't know how much. What did it end on? Do we know the head count? But I swear they're low. No,
like
I know it's 1 entry.
6,000-ish.
Surely there's more than 6,000. Like, well, there obviously is more. They don't have to play the tourney, but I just think I felt really low.
Rare is 6,800. Super rare is 794.
Yeah, and at rare they're giving out. It goes down to 700, but a lot of that's mortgage credits. I think it's 350. It pays down to cash places.
I think 1,000 in limited pay cash, right?
No idea.
And there's credits there as well, so they extended the tail a bit, which was quite good because you thought, like, well, at least you're winning something, like thought it was quite nice. Like,
yeah, I'd like to see that more, to be honest. At the bottom end, just get like even like 5 credits in like in season comps.
Just like a booby prize.
Yeah, like even take it out of boxes and just put it at the bottom there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that.
I can't see the limited one. If any of you have entered it, feel free to let me know the head count.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah, 2 seconds. I'll tell you.
Show us your anti-stacks, lads. Any of you feel free to do share screen with us. I'll stick them on for you.
I actually quite like mine, so I'll show you mine's. If I can press the right buttons. It's been a few beers in here, right? So it's always possible there could be a malfunction. Yeah, it's special as well, right? So it's right up the top, so that's quite easy. Like,
Charlie screen joined. Oh,
Yeah,
Eloy Doom.
You might be able to. It was the last competition I picked.
I was going to say,
Wow.
Lucas Sucic, that's your last take, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Elo Room isn't going to probably play, is he?
No. But the only reason I put him in is the main keeper wasn't on the bench in the cup, so it kind of gave me the fear a bit, to be honest.
Lardino in the
So
house.
yeah,
love
this
it.
is a complete throwaway. So yeah.
20k in. That's not bad. Right, Quinny, here we go. I understand. Let's proceed. Global fantasy football. Don't share the porn. Sorry, Twitter, X, whatever it's called. Yeah, so the Super. I was going to put Safanov in there. I showed you this, Quinny, didn't I? I was going to put Safanov in there, and I changed my mind last minute.
Well done.
So I just thought I didn't realise when my Cal was down to 30% or something on the predictions. I couldn't understand why, and I think it was just all the rotation, but they can still win the league. I really like the rare one, like, you know, Barco's usually in like in season because he's just been like sort of bashing everybody up. But like, it was quite nice just thinking like who could I pick somebody that's like quite strong for each position or get AA or whatever. And then my limited one I think is actually pretty good as well. So I had to go with his trusty captain. Shaqiri's been amazing. Like he's been so good. Trusty, I think Trusty, we talked about this as well. He's the one Celtic centre back who will definitely start because he's for the rest. And then Vert's forward, and that's a wee bit of a sort of negative for the under 23s because like I'd like to use him in the under 23s, but when they're giving out so much cash, you think there's more to win in that competition than there is in the under 23s. So I was like, right, let's go put him in there. So,
are you worried about the Merseyside weather?
Well, I watched the Celtic Aberdeen game and like somebody passed the ball up that way and like fucking the time it landed, it was over there. So if it's the same call as
there's
right.
rumours that the Merseyside derby might be under threat of wind. Too windy, they might call it off, but I think it should be okay.
Scousers are tougher than that.
Well,
we're not in Cardiff. Cardiff game's done.
Yeah, they're all done across Wales, isn't it?
Cardiff, Watford's done. Oxford's done as well.
Plymouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There's
Plymouth, Oxford.
yeah.
Oh, Wayne Rooney will be happy at that. It's a weekend he's not losing.
Yeah, he's in the pub all weekend, isn't he?
Non-stick Lama, by the way, GG's to you. Mkhitaryan got him off to a 110-point start, it looks like, in anti-stack. So well done to you, mate.
Is that
Wow.
Mkhitaryan? It's got to be someone else. Is he
He's
still playing?
for
Nick Henrik.
Wow.
He's been at Inter, bossing it in rotation.
I didn't realise.
And I was chatting to Laird earlier on his show because Laird popped into my lineup building this week, and he asked me to pick him a team for anti-stacks just for, like, you know, see what I would do kind of thing. And I wanted to check. Laird showed me his team, right? But I've totally forgot the team I picked, right? So chat, you guys, let me know, what team do you think is going to score better? This team, right? Or, and this is kind of going in with what Bride's talking about with under 23 goalkeeper, this team. So the differences are Diaz and Hulk versus Stoikers and Aronson, sorry. And the goalkeepers are Manny Petroli.
Diaz and Hulk win, I think. But I mean, Arison's
Diaz and Hulk, you think so? Your team, Laird.
Diaz at home, Hulk. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's maybe not a kind of AA guy. Aronson's a funny one because he's been scoring really well, hasn't he? But yeah, I'll go with the old guy. I'll go with Hulk and stuff like that.
I'll go with your one with Stoikers.
One of the Stoikers and the Paxton.
Yeah.
Petroli, have him for a clean sheet. Hulk team wins. So it's divisive in the chat. No consensus or whatever. But it's just when you said that about the Tribune, I thought, oh yeah, Laird and his in-season stuff. Let's go have a wee peek at that quickly. One of the other things I put in the chat coming into tonight was we're also having a wee chat about the Neon Christmas, the kind of Advent calendar stuff that we've seen this week as well. And obviously anti-stack that we've kind of touched on there. But the thing that really kind of rocked the boat today was we had a new deadline. We had a great deadline. It wasn't really the great deadline stream. The stream was great. We had fun and stuff. But having the deadline at 5 o'clock, I could listen to not just the Brendan Rodgers press conference, but I could also listen to the Alistair Johnson press conference as well. And then I could check Twitter and I could scroll around and double check all the intel that was getting chucked at us in the live chat. And I made a wee tweak or two. It's not important what they are. We don't need to go into that. And I don't know, I felt at peace. I felt happy. I felt calm when the deadline went by and my teams got submitted. How did I'll start with you, Harry, since we were on the deadline show together earlier, but how did the extended deadline, how did it treat you, mate?
Well, yeah, considering there was obviously a bit of a situation with the SD and Sorare, obviously, whatever. So it was fitting, but I liked it, to be honest. It was less pressure. Like it meant that I had longer, obviously, and it's nicer if you're this side of the world, you have a bit more time compared to the UK. So I'm all for it. Like, sign me up. By the way, Quinny, Ledesma's on a 91, so that's probably going to be a little signal for us. Just scored a goal, 5-1 up. Yeah, killer. But no, I like it. I know there's that thing. Everyone's like, oh, well, people know the lineups. People have been knowing the lineups. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? There might just be more lineups known. I know there's like that tricky one with Bundesliga 2 maybe plays it like really early. It's like 12, which wouldn't really
UK time they play.
Yeah, 5:30 is an issue because that would be like the game starts an hour before the deadline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't think we won that, do we? But I don't know. Just put them in the midweek. Fuck it, it's worth it.
I don't mind it, to be honest with you. I don't mind it. It's somebody mentioned when we were on the deadline show that the J&K and all that are basically finished now anyway. So even if they wanted to mess with it, now's a good time, Quality of life and all that, Put the managers first. Charlie, how was it for you, buddy?
Yeah, I was waiting on information, to be honest, mainly from like papers from like French team news and stuff, and I'll be honest, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I got no news at all on anything. So I think the one thing I would have done, I think they should have put it back to 4 instead of 5. So no one got team news. But maybe that's me just being
a stickler.
Nasty. Yeah, just because I don't have anyone that will get team news early. So
fair. Well, Zagreb were the ones that kicked off like on the deadline. They drew 1 each. So don't think they gained anything from this game week, certainly. Yeah. And I can't remember what the other games were. I've set some rivals lineups. I don't think they've done anything good, but I quite enjoyed it. And I seen Harry, actually, I seen you put a little Twitter poll out. Has it been biting?
Yeah, there's been a few bites and stuff. Not too much negativity, I don't think. Someone did say something like, it cracks me up that so many people are against game week locks at kickoff, but when the deadline is pushed 2 hours ahead because of technical issues, everyone thinks it's the best thing ever. His lineup predicting a skill part of the game or not, can't play both sides. So I don't know whether that's an actual. I don't know.
Yeah, the way I see it, I think no one should get team news. Like you're at a distinct advantage if you get team news early.
You are, but it doesn't mean they score well. Like, yeah, I get it.
It doesn't, but it can't.
Do you know what I mean?
It is a big help. I know what you mean, but yeah.
Like, it is obviously a big help, but are those games really determining too much in the game week? I don't know. I'm not saying they can't. They can't. Like, there's obviously going to be smashing something.
Like,
it
obviously, it wasn't a big game. Like,
Yeah.
it was Zagreb this week. Like, say, it's like Monaco kicking off at 5 o'clock or something, and you get team news early. Like, that can be a big difference.
It can, but it's been happening for years. We've been having that for absolutely years, by the way. There's always a Friday. Like, games kicking off before we know the team news. 100%. Happens in Croatia every Friday.
Yeah, maybe Croatia.
I swear, like it does. And it happens in Bundes too, a lot of the time this season.
Used to get it in Korea quite often.
Yeah.
You'd notice
Yeah,
if
it's been
senior was in the
happening
team
for a
and
while.
stuff. And I remember that when we had like 11 a.m. deadlines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's ever been. No one's ever kicked up a fuss from my side of it. I've never really heard too much of a fuss about it in general. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives. More time to research. Like, if we're going to keep the whole deadline thing, give us at least, just give us all the utilities and time, possible, where it like doesn't affect too much gameplay. I don't know. It's a tough one. But if there is too many games, just move them to the midweek. I know again that causes problems, but
Yeah,
don't know.
I think that would be one of the issues. Like say Croatia, you get early games often. Like if that could massively mess people over if you like a Croatia league gallery and then one of them you keep like those midweek and none of the rest do. So that is what everyone was annoyed about with Asia for a while, was that they were getting their keepers in the midweek and then they couldn't do anything at the weekend. But yeah, I don't think personally I would keep it how it is. Maybe extend it by an hour, but I don't like personally. Did any of you guys get any news from 3 to 5? Like, was it? Because like I thought it would have made a difference, and I would have got something. I got nothing.
The Celtic press conference was out, so it was good to actually be able to listen to it.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times that comes out at 3 o'clock. So like sometimes someone will happen to say, "Oh yeah, such and such is out because X or Y's happened." Like, but I thought it was quite interesting. I mean, obviously with Dynamo's point of view, they used to be real sort of bangers, and they're not anymore. Like the thing with the end season and the sort of weekend and midweek is that often just now, if like you have one Croatian team playing midweek, then they won't be in the cash comps either. Because you need like a quota teams to actually open it. But I think that if there's not any games on a Friday afternoon, just move it back. Just give people more time. Because I quite liked it. It was good having more information or whatever. Or I wasn't that bothered that some people knew the Dynamo lineup or some people knew the Leverkusen lineup or whatever. Like, I wasn't really arsed about that. So,
Got Rafinha news. Where's the exit? What was the Rafinha
that
news?
was before deadline. It was the manager said he'll not rotate.
Okay.
Jackpot.
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd done his ACL there, to be fair. I'm not against the guy or anything, but if somebody could just like sieve him down, that would be absolutely phenomenal for my La Liga team.
I feel that. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like me and my situation, but I just genuinely felt that there was more time to like look over the teams again. Like, do I really want him playing here? And where was that guy again? And I guess maybe just because I'm on stream for the last 2 hours of it, and I'm kind of flustered, to say the least. Sorry, Charlie, you're going to say something.
I was going to say the one thing I would say is whatever they do, I would like them to not like just keep it at one time. I don't like rolling locks. Like if it changes from like 3 o'clock one week, 5 o'clock on around, 6 o'clock on around, I think it needs to stay one time personally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think the problem with the rolling locks thing is that like you're encouraging people to put 3 lineups in some competitions. So then if you've got to be around to adjust your lineups for all of them, then does that really work? So I think it would be better, like, say you come to Saturday and somebody's out unexpectedly and you could sub in one of the other players that you've got, that'd be great. But like, how feasible is that to actually be on Sorare for the full? I mean, like, I would like. I'm already virgin and divorced, but like, I would be actually divorced. So yeah, rolling locks. Yeah, we're in favour of rolling locks. Let's vote it in. Let's we'll live a high life and we'll have freedom. But that's going to be difficult, I think, to manage. And also like MLS. Like, I love the MLS, but I'm never usually up for MLS games because I'm getting old and I need to go to my bed at 10:30 at night. I can't be up to 1:30 in the morning, otherwise I'm grumpy. So like, I don't want to be about going, oh fuck, I need the Nashville lineup at like 12:30 tonight. Like, like that would be quite hard. Albeit there'd be advantages. So
yeah, like the way it is now, the deadline's at 3. You like if you want to maximize like the knowledge and like your teams, you can set aside half an hour from like 2:30 to 3:30, and you do that every week, and you can kind of if you can do that. Whereas like it would just get a bit messy if it wasn't 3:00 every week. As long as it's a certain time every week, people can kind of plan ahead and maybe like get half an hour off work or something like that and try and work around it as much as possible.
Yeah, people are creatures of routine, I suppose, especially for this kind of thing. You want to know, right, well, I'll make sure I get my lunch break at 10 and then I'll just do it then, or do my first break, or I don't know, whatever. Do it the night before if you need to, because you know you're not going to get your phone for 10 hours the next day or whatever. So maybe it's less of a problem in that situation, but no, I'm with you. I like the idea of rolling locks. I think they would have worked better on the old system of like Champ America, Champ in Chile, Euro, Champ Asia. I think like in that system, it would have worked a bit cleaner. But now, because like Brazil's in with Holland and Mexico's in with Scotland and everything else, you know, like you don't really get that time zone benefit that they would gain by, like you say, like, you know, Rico Man's in the chat saying he's got a Houston stack and the 2:30 a.m. kickoffs absolutely wrecked him. You know, and I think that's what kind of people want to avoid is like, if you are on the other side of the world from your cards, like, you know, even getting to the deadline show for the news that we've got, like if you're in America or somewhere else in Asia or something like that, that's like an unsociable hour for a lot of folk, you know. And it's like, oh, come on, man, I'm only going to be playing this region anyway. Let me have another couple of hours in my bed. The game doesn't start until this time at night. And why do I need to submit teams now? So I think now it's kind of hard to do rolling locks with the new structure, unless it was just on the champ ones. They got their own individual rolling lock, and then there was like a master lock for like everything that wasn't a league specific comp, maybe.
Yeah.
Because the regions are global regions, you know, so there's no benefit to Brazil or America or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Like if you do an EPL lock and you say, right, there's no Friday night games, so we'll make it 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, but some people might want to use those EPL guys in the anti-sticks this weekend. So unless you go to like complete segregation, then it's quite hard to run regional locks as well. I think where we're on that, I think actually Sorare might want to think about doing an MLS contest at some point, like, because when the Challenger stuff and all the PSV stacks or Galatasaray or Fenerbahce come back, then it's quite difficult for the MLS, and it's quite, you know, the World Cup's there, Messi's there, good players are going, so that might be an angle, like in terms of saying, right, we'll just run an MLS competition and we'll make a specific deadline for that. But whilst you're running all-star stuff, some of those guys people might want to put in their all-star stacks, and then you're like, oh, do I enter him just now on Friday, or do I leave him and then I can't put him in again because that deadline's passed? And it just gets a bit messy then, I think.
Interesting. DD's telling us a wee bit of intel on the NBA side of things. Doesn't make total sense to me. But Palma picked up on a joke I was going to make and decided not to. McBride says he gets grumpy if he stays up to 1:30. I was going to ask when your bedtime has been this week, buddy, or last week, whenever it was.
I've been up to 2:30 in the morning every night this week, so I've got the menopause.
Love it.
I saw someone on Twitter on about the Club World Cup. What do you think about that? Do you think it should be covered?
Yeah.
Aye. Defo. I'm surprised if it isn't in a lot of ways, because, like, did you see the video today for Donald Trump talking about it?
No.
I presume that was for the World Cup.
No, it's for the Club World Cup as well.
Oh, right.
It was like posted on like the official FIFA account. I'll go and find it rather than describing it to you.
Yeah,
It's not that great a video.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest,
today.
I was against it being covered, to be honest.
I think there's leagues finishing, like, are stopping for it as well. So
when is it?
It's in, like, when the Euros or the World Cup would have run. It's like,
so it's like in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the only copy of it. I don't know if it was this one I seen.
I'm Gianni. I just want to wish everybody
He calls Gianni Infantino Johnny. There's the Club World Cup. He does mention the World Cup as well. But if they're going to this length, like they're going to push this thing. Is my point.
I just want to wish everybody a good evening and a good time. And the event is going to be incredible. I will try and be there if I can. I would. We'll see what happens. But I just want to say you're led by a man named Johnny. I just know him as Johnny, and he's a winner. And he's the president, and I'm the president, and we've known each other a long time. And I'm so honored to have this kind of a relationship because soccer is going through the roof, as everybody knows. It's been doing fantastically well. My son, Baron, is a tremendous soccer fan. He's actually a good player. I guess not quite that kind of good, but he's a very good player. But he loves soccer, and it really has taken over the United States in terms of a sport. And I congratulate everybody, but in particular, I wish you to have a good time. And I want to say my highest regards and respect to Johnny. And it's an honor to be with you, and we'll be with you very soon. And we're going to be watching the World Cup, very importantly, also very soon. And I was very responsible, along with Johnny, in getting it. And it's going to be a fantastic thing. Thank you, and have a good time.
Yeah, that's for the club. It was Sky. I seen it. There we go. That's where the video came from.
Wow.
Johnny.
Johnny
Cash.
I thought that was good. I thought it was funny. Just he keeps calling him Johnny. He's a great guy. I've known him for a long time. Don't know his last name, but he's the president. I'm the president.
Johnny. Got to cover it. Surely they've got to cover it. There's leagues stopping, and also, yeah, like they've covered like the Olympics, and I know that was in France, but like, yeah.
If they're covering under 23 tournaments, how can you not cover the Club World Cup? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right, I think a lot of them just don't take it seriously, from what I'm aware.
Yeah, but under 21 Euros aren't.
I get that, yeah. But,
do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I don't think anyone would have cared if they didn't cover them either, to be honest.
Yeah. Don't know if that's official.
Yeah. Like, the way I see it, like, look at the state of most of the teams in there. That's you know what I mean? Like,
Salzburg made it.
Some of the teams should be just beating them like 10-0. Like, really. Like, Chelsea versus, is that a Tunisian league team?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Come on. Like, that's just silly.
They should drop them.
Real Madrid will probably beat Salzburg about 10-0 in current form. But I think the other thing with this is, like, see when the Euros came, there was cards selling for good prices, and obviously that's quite natural, but there'll be no supply left by the time this comes.
Yeah, they've also got to either fork out cash or cards, which they probably haven't set aside. I would be surprised if they set aside cards for this. When everyone's bought cards for the season in the league. I would personally be a bit pissed off if they've took a decent chunk of the card supply and just held it for this, personally. Yeah,
but it depends if that's like what they're going to sell or if it's going to be rewards. So if they say, right, okay, we know that, PSG, Atletico, Bayern Munich, they're all in the Club World Cup, we'll mint them a bit slower. We'll have 5 or 10 of the rares to sell into this competition. I guess all right, to be honest.
I don't think they'll have any mints left for this, personally.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, isn't it?
They could offer other prizes, though, couldn't they? Like, not that there's a massive supply of shirts and tickets and whatever, but, yeah, it can. It's not going to be amazing, but they could come up with something if they wanted to be inventive. So, but yeah, Didi's right there. Conference League, Chelsea winning 8-0 in that, so fucking no difference is there.
Yeah, like,
really.
Yeah, but that's
I don't see
that's earned on merit. Like, this Club World Cup isn't earned on merit. Like, they've just chucked teams in.
Yeah, I mean,
like, they just chucked Miami in for no reason.
I think they tried to. That's why I was going to say I'm surprised that Al Nassr aren't here, because it's such a contrived qualification process that they've made for this to get Inter Miami in, because they won Supporter Shield or something. So they went, okay, well, you can come in because you did that, and then
it's because they won the league. They won the league, Quinny. There's it's the MLS. They won the league.
No, that's not why they got.
There's 3 Mexican teams.
They weren't meant to be in, and then they give them a wild card. That's how they got in. They just give them a wild card.
Messi plays for them. Like, what are we saying here? It's because Messi plays on the team.
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter. It's a manufactured tournament. Like, it's not like not any club in Europe isn't going to take it seriously at all. That's why I
No, yeah, like Mikey said, it's going to be a pre-season thing, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, like why are Porto there?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
are
that's
Salzburg
weird.
there? They've not been
Why
in
are
European
Chelsea there?
finals.
What have Chelsea won?
Chelsea won Champions League within the last like 5 years, haven't they?
There's different.
We can't go making up reasons. Now, can we?
Teams
No, but how are they
stretch.
getting in? But you know,
I
if
know.
you
I
need,
don't
like,
know. I don't.
how many European teams, and that's what they've did. They've said it's like performance over a few seasons because it's like catching up, and then you'll be able to see like who won this, and then they qualify in the future. Because I think that's why somebody else was in the frame. I can't remember who it was, but it was like somebody won the Champions League or something, and it was I can't remember. I'll start when I see the team. I'll remember, but I'll scan across it now, and I'm drawing a blank. But it was like because it wasn't like Rangers were like there was a long shot that Rangers would have got Salzburg spot. It was like lottery odds of the results and the permutations of what might have happened for that to result in them getting there. But it was really like because they got to a European final, so it was like I can't remember how it all worked. It was so contrived.
Coefficient or something, or
It's like coefficient and like being a European final, and if this team don't qualify, then they're out, and this would happen. And like Uruguay won the Champions League a few years ago, didn't they? In AFC
Last season, yeah, the AFC.
Last season.
Season before, something like that.
And when did Ulsan do it? But maybe before them.
I reckon earlier. More recent.
Longer.
Sorry,
More recent.
I think. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, fair.
22, I think. Ulsan. It was like Yunbek Garam and
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed that there's 3 Mexican teams.
Yeah.
it's a World Cup though. It's not a Sorare Contender Cup. Winnie.
But you can't be giving CONCACAF this amount of clubs, man. Come on.
There's a lot of actual World Cups that are arguably like maybe weaker than some Euros, if you know what I mean. So, like, people would argue that. So,
And his joint holders, Mikey Baston's got the intel. The criteria for most is winning a Continental Cup. Yeah, well, Salzburg, they've not done bugger all. Don't get why they're there.
Like Mike, I think it was
Benfica Porto.
Yeah, Mike Boston
Atletico.
said they saved 1 spot for MLS, and the MLS were allowed to choose a club of their choice.
Of course they were. It's very MLS, but that isn't it?
Yeah, the whole thing's very. Sorry, Arab, it's very American. The way I see it.
But it's all a money making thing, isn't it? That's all it is. It's just a.
I don't see who's watching
glorified
this personally.
Oh, might be at one
No,
of the
I
games.
don't see anyone in Europe watching this.
I'll watch it. I've
Really?
got a Chelsea stack.
yeah.
I've got
Magic Madri will watch it.
I've got I'll watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
I definitely think the knockouts will be interesting.
But will
Like,
they play if they play this property? If they play a second team, I don't think it will be interesting. And from what I've read, it seems like it's like it'll be like Chelsea's Conference League squad playing, if that.
Yeah, but if the quarterfinal, even if it is Chelsea's Conference League squad, if the quarterfinals Chelsea v River Plate,
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
that could be fun.
I think
Fluminense versus Real Madrid and shit, you know, like that could be good.
Cole Palmer was left out the Chelsea Conference League squad, and they said that they knew that he was at this, and then they were going to actually hold him back so that he was still okay for the summer. So I think actually he will play in this.
well,
I definitely think FIFA will be saying to them, "Don't
Bring your
fuck me,
boys."
Tony.
Yeah.
Don't try and fuck me, Tony."
Bring your best boys, or we'll bring our best boys.
Yeah. And I think DD's nailed it as well here. There'll be nothing else on. There's no international football or anything. You know?
Yeah, you forget that the past few years on Sorare, we've had something to kind of carry us through, haven't we? Whether that be like...
You're not going to speak to your missus, like, let's be real. You're going to be watching.
It's good free to air for the most part as well.
Well,
see, I mean, that's like, I don't know, it's like a wee bit, this is a wee bit too capitalist, this competition, the way it's been put together, right? It's just all for money. We've all kind of said that, right? But see, for any, like, obviously me and McBride are in Scotland, so we kind of live this a little bit more. But see, for like a competition that wants to get more eyes on it, wants to increase revenue or whatever, like, it's a really smart strategy they're going for, you know, like cherry picking Miami into it, putting it, it's free to air everywhere. if that's the strategy and they get it, they pull it off. Because friend of the channel, friend of the community, Mad Fiago. I'm pretty sure when you see him go to like Tunisia and Morocco, these places are fucking mad for it, like big time. Like their football might not be up to much of a standard, but they go for it. Yeah, I mean, and they'll tune in, they'll watch every game, every kick, every highlights package it goes. Same with Brazil and Argentina, of course. We know how mad for it they are. So it doesn't take much for it to be like a success, and then maybe the ignorant European contingent maybe next time go, well, everyone else seemed to have fun. Maybe we'll have fun next time, maybe we'll actually tune in for it or whatever. Do you remember that year it seemed like everyone was watching AFCON and it was like the first time it felt like nobody had ever seen AFCON before, but everyone was watching it all of a sudden. Do you remember that?
AFCON's always a great watch though, isn't it? The games are just fucking mental.
Yeah. There's just always some shenanigans on the go.
Yeah.
87 minutes, let's full time. It's like
they're proper good. I think this will be covered SO5 wise for sure. The reward pools TBC, I think, you don't want to see Bayern, PSG, stars and all the rest of it kept back for this certainly, but like Harry said, it could just be like Global Cup vibes, shirts and tickets and cool boxes and stuff,
There'll be a few left over, Quinny. I mean, like there's say 10 Harry Kane left in the star pool or whatever, like people won't pull them out, like, so they'll just whack them in and just say, right, we're giving out some star Harry Kanes, or we're giving out some Barcolas, or there will be some left. They won't hold them back. It'll just be the massive super computer.
What if we get early access? Says Rico Man. When this is on. When is it on?
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, the groups are official, it looks like.
Yeah.
Is this maybe a nicer graphic? I don't know. Badges are nicer anyway.
Start on June the 15th. Is that not when the season ends? Like, exactly.
Jesus, yeah. Like Champions League final is like
Christ.
31st of May, 5th of June at the latest.
If any like serious first team professional footballers like going straight into this, you'd be raging.
De Bruyne and Rodri will be spitting their milk out, won't they?
You can't. Any of the European teams, I wouldn't be surprised if all the players just refuse and just go like, no.
Like, I'm not in the Champions League final this year, so it's fine.
Like, I remember the outrage when Newcastle and Tottenham played it pre-season friendly. Yeah, they played it like 3 days after the last game of the season, and everyone was raging. And like a lot of the players weren't happy as well. And then you're going to make them play what? How long is it going to take? 10 games maybe?
13th of July will be the final.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but the English Premier League doesn't start back until
20th of August, give or take.
Yeah, so I get 5 weeks off. So
it's not really a full 5 weeks off, Still get pre-season.
Aye, but just
it's probably what 2.5, 3 weeks max.
The guys that were the Euros, they like didn't come back for a pre-season. They just like gave them 3 weeks off.
Yeah, but that's the Euros. You want to be at the Euros.
I think this, like, I'm not saying it's going to be huge, but like if it's been promoted and like Real Madrid will want to win this, they'll be like, right, this is another trophy that we can win. So if people start saying like, right, we want to win this, we're club world champions or whatever, then all of a sudden people will want to win it. And that's it.
Love this from Jalkin Calves. The Brazilian teams will be hiding all their youngsters for this tournament. Don't want them in the shop window. Don't know about that. I think they like shop windows in Brazil.
Yeah, they like
another thing. Yeah.
They like £1 though. Don't worry about that.
Big time. Well, they'll probably make sure they're contracted up before the tournament. That's maybe what they'll do. And Andreas, again, great points. Andreas has been on fire in the chat today, as well as everyone else has, by the way. Thanks to everyone that is joining us. Heaven forbid people work 12 months a year, but it's not really work, Claire, does it? For one, like, it's athletic performance. And, like, we want to see good football. We don't want them injured. We don't want them breaking down and stuff. But yeah, they're getting very much closer to your 28 days and bank holidays now, aren't they? Like they're not getting their school teacher holidays that they used to get, are they?
No.
unless they're crap at football and they never get called up to these tournaments and internationals, then they're probably not too they're probably all right. It's just those elite players, eh? They're the ones that've got all the kind of extra pressure or whatever. I know you're just kidding, Laird. I know you're just kidding. Sorry if I came across the wrong way there. But yeah, I think that's the main problem. It's just like, yeah, because you don't want them breaking. Like from us, a selfish perspective, from fans or Sorare wise, you know, you want that proper utility.
Or rotated, or wanting rolling locks or subs.
But yeah, they might even do something funky for this, like test something out.
Yeah, well, even if they do like special cards for it and just like release cards early and just say, yeah, it's 5 of 10 of each card, you know what I mean, sort of thing. Like a lot of the teams aren't Europe, really. Not all of them are covered, obviously, but.
Love the banter. Love the banter.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's it.
2 months before it'll be like, yes, we've got this Easter promotion, and if you buy these cards, they'll play at the Club World Cup, and but you'll need 5 of them.
People would buy them.
People would, yeah, people would. It's not really. Let's not go into the history of Sorare or why we bought into the site, but people would buy them. That is right. Yeah.
Trophy's cool.
Yeah. Do you think they'll let Messi win this one as well?
Mate, Miami are not winning this. Who's in goals?
I don't know. I've seen some North American referees. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
they
the home field refs, maybe.
Have you watched Inter Miami though? You fucking like, yeah. Have you watched Inter Miami? It's not Argentina. Like,
Atlanta turned them over, so
yeah, fair enough.
And they are.
Guzan.
Guzan had them all rattled. He had Suarez on strings, Messi on strings, and Alvaro and Busquets. It was class.
When he got like pushed at the net as well after they scored one, didn't he? They just scored, Jesus.
That game was class.
It's like fucking 45. Leave the guy alone.
top trolling.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Aye. Milinkovic, Savic, and Mitrovic against Real Madrid. Yeah, all those blue X cards actually. But a few of them all of a sudden coming back to life again.
Yeah, I'm sure Sorare are sitting about going, Brad's fucking like, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just reward them by giving out just like loads of prizes over the course of that competition to his classic cards.
What do you think about for something like that? They did do something funky, like give away the cards in the Sorare Club or something like that.
I would rather them go to something more meaningful, is what I would say.
What would be something more okay?
Say what they're doing with the anti-stack this week. That sort of thing.
Put them in that. Like
just a one-off, so yeah.
Do you know, I thought Black hit the nail on the head last night, or whenever it was. This is so funny. I've just run the Sorare squad. Someone's edited their Hall of Fame. It's just Johnny Evans. Scud 2.
Squid 2.
560 rares, 971 limiteds, 15 uniques, 120 supers. 7 National Series cards. Who do you think refunded or card swapped National Series cards with them?
Yeah, how busy have you got to be to do that, by the way?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Let's see.
Is there any super rare Safanovs in there?
These ones there, nobody wanted.
I've got all of them.
That's some fun, guys. But that's what I was going to say. Black hit the nail on the head. See with the Ricky Puig thing. Like, see when something like that happens. He made a joke just saying like they should have did an MLS Cup final where it was like give away the rest of the Puigs in it, basically, because he's injured. But see when someone does get like ruled out for the season, they should definitely just say, right, there's 12 of them left in the prize pool. Top 12 get one, for guys like that, because you don't want to reward it to someone. Period. Like, you don't want to be in a tier 1 or a tier 2 where someone's like, oh, I've finished in the top 10 and then who'd I get? Oh, ACL guy. But then you get all the rewards out then as well, and then people know going into it that you're kind of getting that as part of the comp, maybe on top of a box or something. I don't know. I thought it was a genius wee idea for the ACL tears of the season enders.
I'd rather them just bump them down a few tiers, to be honest. Like,
Would you be happy with an ACL? Would you be happy with an ACL Puig in T2 or T1?
No, because he would have been around that anyway. But if like, say
That's
you're getting
fair.
a Rodri as like a tier 2,
Mm-hmm.
like, you'd be buzzing with that.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know what tier Puig was, or like if it's like I would say like 2 tiers down maybe from what they were, if you know what I mean. Obviously, it doesn't work for everyone. Like, to be honest, you'd probably only be happy with Rodri because, like, even at Militao, he'd still probably be quite pissed off with.
I think it's got to be star level guys.
Yeah.
You know, Rodri,
Yeah.
Puigs, Hazard, fucking Wirtz when it happened. My mind's just melted there. But yeah, high profile guys, high value guys, and it's clear like they are written off. You know, like
He's swapping
they are
Andy
out.
Carroll. Come on,
Blasphemy.
I'd have that.
Quinny, here's a point, right? I know it's 5 years ago and we're getting into the past. Sorare didn't used to sell players who had been injured. So I remember I got Zaniolo and he done his knee, but then they just stopped selling them.
Yeah.
So I know that might be quite hard to manage these days, but there could be a kind of like Casper Schmeichel.
You know what would be good if they had like an essence thing where it was like 50 essence and you just get some random guy out of this club, just complete like pick and mix, just get some options. Like, it's either going to be someone unreal or some absolute rotter.
2 Berardis.
Yeah, just feels rude, like class cards being there, doesn't it?
Yeah, feels wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think they would respond to an offer?
No.
Is that this actual Sorare swap?
This is the graveyard. Yeah.
Yeah. We fucked things up in the cards here. How's that Casper Schmeichel?
I know. I was even there.
Let's see.
Wild.
It's right. Maybe somebody's pissed and they get the notification and they think that Quinny, game it, fuck it. You know. What can we throw at it?
That's like there's probably about 100 grand or something sitting in there, right?
I don't know about that, but a few quids, no doubt.
Schmeichel's worth at least 50,000. I mean, he must be worth what? Probably 200, 250 or something. Like, so it's a lot of cards in there.
Yeah, as a packet.
Wild, man.
I'll test this out for everyone. Let you know.
The in-season? How can there be a fucking in-season Casper Schmeichel in there?
In-season?
Do you want to guess the Sorare evaluation of the club?
E for pounds.
Pounds.
Tough.
50.
About 1,000 rares.
How many cards is it?
1,000 limited, 560 rare, 124 super rare, and 16 unique.
Right, so the super rares and unique will not be worth anything. So what?
On SD, but
yeah, not on SD. They'll give them a nice little valuation, won't they?
I'm going to say 80k.
What are you running?
50.
Right.
I've had 4 Madri, so I have no idea.
I love it.
Go for £88,888. 1888.
Ooh, half.
Okay.
I thought would be
an 8. I win that at an 8.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at that. I thought it'd be more.
Yeah, well, a lot of them will probably still be injured. Some of them are.
I think 8,000 of that is made up by Faze Selemani, £8,000 unique.
Oh wow!
Just doesn't seem too accurate.
Yeah.
They got a Jude in there.
The Jude?
A rare Jude. Wow.
Oof.
How?
Super rare Fleur Louise.
My Chao Henrique should be in there, super rare.
Yeah, there's two of them.
I won him when he did his ACL.
But it's such a shite rule, isn't it? Like, so they rewarded that and they've taken it back, and then that's it. Like, surely they should be able to sell it again, or like, if it's within the same season they've minted it, like, they should be able to just put it back on the market or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird.
So De Bruyne in there as well. Rare.
That's 80 quid these days, Quinny. So
Yeah,
it's
back from injury.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, probably 80 quid.
That's so funny. I've just found the Johnny Evans. It's on page 6 of the rares. So someone's done that deliberately. It's not like the newest card in the club or something, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably Dan.
You think so? Johnny Evans. Does Dan like Man United? No, Dan's an Arsenal guy, I think.
Yeah, he is, but
Irish.
Irish, but then Northern Ireland Republic.
I don't know
Yeah.
what one, if he has a care. Some people are just Irish. You don't care about. I don't know. 2 arena wins. I wonder who they're facing up against, eh?
Wow.
I tell you what, I did see Paul on Paul on Twitter or whatever. He
Yeah.
was in a couple of weeks, I don't know, probably last week or something. I was just on Sorare on the auctions and he popped up. He just he literally just bought a card as I was on the auctions.
Jalkin Calves with the tip here. Bono for €10, Cancelo €3, Ruben Neves €2.30, Mitrovic $7.70, Milinkovic $4.50. Cheap team. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Boscagli's sub 60 score. We are back.
So,
Just wait till he signs for Brighton. You'll be proper back then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Him and O'Reilly be holding hands.
Aye. So yes, we've done a 50. That's fucking awesome. Everybody else, he's out of contract. That he's gone. Like, honestly, like he is the biggest Titanic in Sorare's history. Like he's gone. Like he would stay because he said he wanted to go and like
Didn't quite happen, did it?
convince him, and yeah, there we go. Veerman's back. Veerman was back on the bench, I think. So
Yeah, someone said that in the live chat when Harry was asking about Siberia. Shooting and Veerman were both on for minutes this weekend, allegedly. Don't know if that happened.
Yeah, Veerman come on at half time. I don't know about shooting though.
Yeah, interesting. Fair enough. That's kind of all I had to go through tonight, guys. We've actually went into some good stuff tonight. The Club World Cup, Sorare's Gallery, and one or two other bits and pieces. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up while we're here tonight, or what we say? Go fuck.
Go fuck time, I think, isn't it?
go fuck.
Go fuck. Yeah.
Go fuck. That's it. Thanks everyone that joined us. Fist bump. Have a great weekend, and yeah, good luck and go fuck. Yeah, that's it.